Following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers. This is the TFangy coming to you with my first video for the year 2024. So happy New Year's Day to everybody. And this video is going to be my top 23 Transformers figures for the year 2023. I was originally going to just make it a top 10 video, but then I started counting up Transformers figures that I purchased last year that I really enjoyed, and they are figures that I would not ever want to give up, and they're ones that I have no regrets whatsoever on adding to my collection. So I decided to make it a top 23 video for the year 2023. So for honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list, there was Studio Series 86 Leader Class Snarl. Now I'm aware that Snarl is one of the best Leader Class figures released all of last year, but I'm keeping all of my Dinobots until Swoop gets released, and then I'll have all 5 of them to open up and look at the same time. I'm Studio Series 86 Ratchet is another honorable mention, just because he's as great a figure as he is, he's still, in my opinion, tied with Earthrise Ratchet being one of the best figures released. But as far as figures of Ratchets go, even though it's the best one, I couldn't fit him onto my list of top 23 figures due to all the others that made the list. Same thing with the other honorable mentions. There was the Troop Builder 4-pack released in the Buzzworthy line, Gamer Edition Megatron, the Legacy Insecticons, Scrap Heap, Shadow Strip, Shatterglass Blur, just to name some of them. Detritus, Shadow Striker, Trash Master. Those were all fantastic Transformers figures that didn't quite make my list of top 23 Transformers for 2023. But without further delay, let's get into the countdown itself. So at number 23, we have a tie between Shatterglass Soundwave and Blaster. These were two of the first figures I purchased in the year 2023. And I like the idea of heroic Decepticons battling evil Autobots, and even though their alt modes basically just make them plastic boxes, they're still pretty fun Transformers figures to have. So yeah, there's Shatterglass Soundwave and his arch rival Shatterglass Blaster. Really thrilled to have both these figures in my collection. At number 22, and I apologize for already starting the countdown without saying this first, uh, about half of the Transformers figures that made my list of best figures for last year, I still haven't gotten around to unboxing them and reviewing them yet, so they're still going to be inside their boxes when I show them off. But at number 22, we have Studio Series Core Class Frenzy. Really thrilled to finally have an action figure of him. I'm hoping that we'll get a Core Class figure of Buzzsaw, just to have all of Soundwave's cassette minions done in modern Core Class size, and we still need Buzzsaw to complete that. At number 21, and we have the Decepticon Jet Brothers from Transformers Prime. We have Legacy Evolution, Leader Class Skyquake, and Dreadwing. I love how the artwork of them, it looks like they're almost in the same position, but then when you look closer at the artwork, it's completely different between the two of them. So yeah, I'm really thrilled to have I was able to get a hold of both of those figures. Next up on the list, we have a Transformers figure whose box I put out of arm's reach as I move my camera around. Alright, at number 20, we have one of my most recent Transformers purchases, Leader Class Tigerhawk. And out of all the figures released in Wave 1 of Transformers Legacy United, Tigerhawk is a pretty fantastic Transformers figure. He's very faithful to his original Beast Wars design. So the Leader Class figures for 2024 are starting off strong, with Legacy United Tigerhawk being the first new Leader Class figure to be released this year. And then next up at number 19, we have a tie between two Transformers figures, and they are Transformers G.I. Joe His Tank Megatron, and one of my personal purchases for this year, Star Convoy, who was released in the Generation Selects line. So the main reason I got the His Tank Megatron was to stand opposite of Star Convoy. These were Optimus Prime and Megatron's final forms in Generation 1. They were known as Star Convoy and Super Megatron. Super Megatron was even bigger than Star Convoy was, and out of all the Megatron figures that have been released in recent years, his tank Megatron was the largest, so that was my motivation for getting that figure and adding it to my collection, was to be a giant-sized version of Megatron to stand as Super Megatron opposite of Star Convoy. So that was a really nice thing to have. So they were both at number 19. Next up at number 18 is one of the deluxe class Transformers figures that a lot of fans have been looking forward to getting, and it is deluxe class Decepticon Needlenose. Needlenose was the last of the Decepticon double target masters to be given a modern deluxe class figure, and even though he has somewhat of a simplistic transformation, overall he's a fun Transformers figure to have, and I enjoy having him in my collection. Next up at number 17, we have Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Brawn, who, in my opinion, is one of the best leader class. Sorry, I just said leader class. I meant deluxe class figures to be released in the Studio Series 86 line. While his transformation can be a little finicky in some of the steps, he is, in my opinion, one of the best deluxe class versions of the mini bots that's come out in recent years. So yeah, I really thrilled about Brawn being released at mass retail and not as an exclusive. Next up at number 16 is a tie between two Transformers figures released in the Legacy line, and that's because they are the first two characters from Transformers Rescue Bots to be given updated figures, and they are Legacy Evolution Autobot Medics and Legacy United Deluxe Class Autobot Chase. I'm really thrilled that Hasbro and Takara are also including characters from Rescue Bots in the Legacy line. Medics has become, what makes him special is that he has become arguably the most hard to find individually released deluxe class figure from Legacy Evolution, since officially in the United States he's a Walgreens exclusive. So that's really what makes him unique. And for Chase, Ace, it's a nice modern figure of him, and there's a lot of speculation that Chase is going to be retooled into the Transformers Prime version of Cliff Jumper. So if that does happen, here's hoping that Cliff Jumper is just as impressive of a Transformers figure that Chase has been. And next up at sorry for interrupting the video like that, but next up at number 15 is the first of 3 Optimus Prime figures, spoiler alert, to make my list of best figures, and I almost forgot to grab it, but at number 15 is Gamer Edition Optimus Prime. So everyone was hopeful that the Studio Series Gamer Edition subline was going to be an interesting subgroup of Transformers figures. It started off strong with Gamer Edition Optimus Prime. And unfortunately, when Bumblebee and Barricade were released, it then took a nosedive, and the Studio Series Gamer Edition line hasn't been able to recover with Cliff Jumper, Megatron, and now, most recently, Starscream. So, the Gamer Edition figures have become the most controversial Transformers figures out of the Studio Series line, but there's no denying that the Gamer Edition Optimus Prime figure is one of the best Voyager class figures to come out of the Studio Series line in 2023. Next up at number 14 is a tie between two Transformers figures that are mold mates with each other, and they are Legacy Evolution Tarn and Bludgeon. A lot of Transformers fans and collectors have said that Tarn is the better of these two figures. Some of the joints on Tarn, which are either very tight or very loose, they've been fixed, so to speak, for lack of better vocabulary, here on Legacy Bludgeon. So I can't wait to get him opened up and take him out of his box. Next up at number 13, Ian and I can't remember where I put it. Let me see here. Next up at number 13, we have the Wardon 2-pack of Autobot Ariel and Autobot Dion. These figures were a HasCon exclusive for 2023. They were meant to be a follow-up set to the Hero is Born 2-pack from Legacy Year 1 that had Alpha Trion and G1 Orion packs, which I reviewed already on this channel, and there's Orion packs there in the background for those of you who are wondering about it. And yes, I'm really thrilled to finally have figures of both these characters. Ariel is the version of Alita 1 when she was a young Autobot, and then Dion was best friends with both Ariel and Orion Pax. There's debate about whether or not if Dion might have been rebuilt into Ultra Agnes, or if he just stayed dead. And it's unclear at this point, but yeah, War Dawn is my favorite episode of G1, so this 2-pack was a must-have figure. So it's nice to finally have these guys in my Transformers collection. Then at number 12, we have one of my personal favorite individually released Deluxe Class figures of the Legacy Evolution line, and it's a figure of a Transformers character that fans have been waiting 38 years to add to their Transformers collection, and it is the Autobot Bounty Hunter DevCon. For being a retool of the Studio Series 86 Blur mold, I really am thrilled to finally have an action figure of DevCon in my Transformers collection, and I'm thrilled that DevCon was released at mass retail and not as an exclusive. So yeah, there is DevCon on at number 12. At number 11, Evan is one of my personal favorite Voyager class figures to come out of the entire year of 2023, and it is Voyager class Legacy Evolution Metal Hawk. Metal Hawk is the leader of the Autobot Pretenders, so if you wanted to, you could have Metal Hawk stand opposite of Legacy Bludgeon as arch rivals of the Autobot versus Decepticon Pretenders. Unfortunately, Metal Hawk is the only one of the Autobot Pretenders that was given a modern day modern day figure in the Legacy Evolution line. And in my opinion, he's a fantastic repaint and retool of the Transformers Kingdom Cyclonus mold. So here's hoping Metal Hawk gets joined by more of his fellow Autobot Pretenders in the future. Alright, so since Metal Hawk made number 11 on the list, we have finally arrived at top 10, the original length of the list that I wanted to do. But as I was contemplating the figures that made top 10 on my list, I keep looking at the list I originally had versus the revised one that I had when I went up to 23 figures, and not all of the figures that made my original top 10 and are on here now. But I am satisfied with the decisions I made for top 10 choices. So at number 10, we have a tie between the first wave Voyager class figures of Legacy United, which are animated Optimus Prime and Thundertron. In my opinion, both of these figures are must-have Transformers armors. Even if you have the original versions of these guys, they're still pretty unique Transformers in their own right, and I just really thrilled to have them both in my collection. And just to give you guys a look at what to expect from Legacy United, here's the poster image for it with the 40th anniversary logo on the bottom. So yeah, Legacy Animated, Universe Optimus Prime, and Thundertron make top 10 on my list. At number 9 is possibly the physically largest Transformer to be released in 2023. And as I get the heavy box up here on screen, here it is. It's the Titan class Nemesis. The box is so huge, I can't show both it and my face on my camera at the same time. But yeah, there's the Titan class Nemesis. I'm really thrilled to have her in my Transformers collection. I've actually come to enjoy the idea of having a female Decepticon Titan running around Cybertron battling the Ark. Or actually, yeah, the Titan class Nemesis took number 9 on my list. At number 8 is one of the most recent Hasbro Pulse exclusive Transformers to be released, and it's the most recent entry into the Transformers Shattered Glass line, and it is the Transformers Shattered Glass Rodimus versus Sideswipe box set. And I'm really thrilled to have these figures in my collection. Action and Shattered Glass Sideswipe. I Back in the good old days, the original Shattered Glass Sideswipe figure was a repaint of Armada Wheeljack, and the fact that he comes with his minicon partner Whisper. A lot of Transformers fan collectors are speculating that this figure is going to be repainted into Armada Wheeljack and have do the reverse of the original figures. And for Shattered Glass Rodimus being a repaint of Studio Series Hot Rod, he does pull off the Shattered Glass paint job really well. So it's late at night. I've been talking a lot today, so my voice is starting to give out. But yeah, Shattered Glass Rodimus and Sideswipe, that box set made number 8 on my list. At number 7 is a Transformers figure that I personally was excited to add to my collection, and one that I was thrilled when it was announced, and it is the Transformers Legacy Evolution Leader Class Toxitron figure. So Toxitron, even though he's a straight up repaint of the Legacy Year 1 G2 Laser Optimus Prime figure, I do not regret getting this figure, and Toxitron definitely is a special Transformers figure in his own right. The entire Legacy Evolution Generation 2 collection was named after him. And once you find out the background information about Toxitron, that he was basically a failed science experiment that Shockwave and a group of Decepticons created to try and be a menace that would rampage against the Autobots, and Toxitron, he went rogue and he started to destroy all the Transformers, not just Autobots, but also fellow Decepticons. And yes, I'm really thrilled that what Hasbro and Takara did for the G2 Toxitron collection is the box art of the Transformers characters. It's done in the traditional two-dimensional cartoonish comic strip style art, not the more three-dimensional CGI artwork that's been used on the other Legacy Evolution box sets. So that's really a nice change there, and a nice it, distinguishing feature of the Generation 2 Legacy Evolution figures. So yeah, Toxitron took number 7. I've been on my list. At number 6 is a Transformers figure that I wanted to be higher, but after I was organizing my Transformers figures, the Transformers figures that made number 1 through 5, I couldn't put this figure higher on the list because the others, in my opinion, are even greater Transformers figures than this one. So at number 6, we have my personal favorite Megatron figure to come out in 2023, and is the Legacy Evolution Leader Class Armada Megatron figure. I am really thrilled to finally have an updated figure of Armada Megatron that looks like Armada Megatron and is not just a green version of Megatron with the Armada Megatron head, which was the case of Combiner Wars Armada Megatron. So yeah, he takes number 6 on my list of favorite Transformers for 2023. At number 5 is Nova Prime. I I was excited for this figure from the get-go when it was teased on the box art for the Senator Shockwave and Orion Pax box set. And yes, in my opinion, Nova Prime is a must-have Transformers figure to have in your collection. Once you find out background information about Nova Prime and how he was the traitor to the Autobots, and he became basically an evil Autobot. He was a borderline Decepticon, but he never stopped being an Autobot. And he ended up being one of the most evil villains to come out of IDW. So yeah, Nova Prime is, in my opinion, he's a must-have figure for anyone's collection, and so much so that he made number 5 on my list of favorite Transformers figures for 2023. Number 4 is arguably the most hard to find Transformers figure to come out of the entire Legacy line. And it is the Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedy 500 Liter Class Galaxy Shuttle. In some countries, Galaxy Shuttle has surprisingly shelf-warmed, but here in the United States, Galaxy Shuttle has been virtually impossible to find. The best place to get him here in the United States is on eBay. Even though during the past month of December of 2023, a lot of the Velocitron Speed 500 figures appeared at discount stores such as Ross, Dress for Less. As Galaxy Shuttle was not one of them, and to my knowledge, he didn't actually get released at Walmart stores here in the United States. Galaxy Shuttle got released very briefly on Hasbro Pulse, and then that was it. That was the last time he was sold in the United States. So but surprisingly, he shelf warmed at some Walmart stores in Canada. So depending on where you live, if some collectors were able to find Galaxy Shuttle, others were not. But yeah, he is one of the rarest and most hard to find Transformers figures of the entire Legacy line. And I believe Galaxy Shuttle, it'll, it'll, he actually stands up there alongside Velocitron Cosmos in being not only one of the most hard to find figures of the Legacy line, but of the Velocitron on Speed of 500 subline. So yes, Galaxy Shuttle made number 4 on my list of top Transformers for 2023. Alright, so we have finally made it to the top 3. And for those of you who've been following up on which Transformers figures have been released throughout the year 2023, you probably have guessed which ones made top 3 on my list so far, but you probably haven't guessed the order that I decided to put them in. So at number 3, we have arguably the best figure to be released in the Studio Series line in 2023, and it is Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class Ultra Magnus. So yes, Ultra Magnus, this is arguably the best Ultra Magnus figure we have gotten. Some collectors have said that it's comparable to the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus figure that was released several years ago. And yeah, this is one of the Ultra Magnus being the first Commander class size figure to be released in the Studio Series 86 line. He's now one of the crown jewels of the Studio Series 86 series. And yes, I do not regret getting this figure and adding it to my collection. Ultra Magnus is my second favorite Autobot after Optimus Prime, so this figure, when it was announced, it became an instant must-have for me. Now, 2023 was a big year for Transformers because not only did we get a lot of Transformers figures that were M's and must-have Transformers figures, but 2023 became only the second year, the first year being 2021, that we got 2 Commander class figures released the same year. In 2021, the 2 Commander class figures that were released were Kingdom Rodimus Prime, and then also exclusive to Hasbro Pulse was the Commander class Shattered Glass Jetfire figure. But unlike those 2 Commander class figures, in which one of them was an exclusive, in 2023, the 2 Commander class figures released last year were both released at mass retail. So since Studio Series Ultra Magnus made number 3, at number 2, we have the Transformers action figure that not only, I believe it won the title of Transformers Figure of the Year for 2023, but it's possibly the best Optimus Prime figure released in all of the year 2023. It is Transformers Legacy Evolution Commander Class Armada Optimus Prime. And as my voice really starts to give out towards the ends of this lengthy video, yes, Armada Optimus Prime. Get this figure if you can. You will not regret getting it to your collection. The Armada version of Optimus Prime has sorely been in need of a new Transformers action figure, and after nearly 20 years, we finally got one in the Legacy Evolution line. So yes, Armada Optimus Prime of Legacy Evolution, the first of 2 Commander class figures released this year, made number 2 on my list of best Transformers figures for 2023. And finally, we have arrived at number 1 on my list of best Transformers figures for 2023. And this one is, the box is kind of bland because it's actually the exterior packing box. I haven't taken the inner box out yet, but it is the HasLab Death Sars figure. So yeah, Death Sars is the third HasLab Transformers figure that's been released, and this is definitely a must-have figure for anyone to have in their Transformers collection. So There's no other words to describe it. Get Death Source. I don't care how expensive he is. You will not go wrong having Death Source in your Transformers collection, especially if you managed last year in 2022 to get a hold of a copy of the HasLab Victory Saber figure. Death Source is meant to be the Decepticon arch rival to Victory Saber. So yes, this has been my top 23 Transformers figures of 2023. Which are your favorite Transformers figures to be released during the year 2023? Please let me know down in the comments section below. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And for those Transformers figures that made my top list that I still haven't reviewed yet, the reviews are coming, but I am really far behind in my Transformers reviews due to having to help my family, having to concentrate on my job, and basically, throughout the past year of 2023, YouTube has been the thing that I've focused the least on due to having more important things going on with me in my life so far. So please bear in mind with me. The reviews are coming. I do promise I will get them out as soon as I can. But until then, and you guys stay safe, stay healthy. This has been the TF Geek. Happy New Year, New Year to everyone. And until next time, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and since we have arrived at the year 2024, as it is shown on all of the Legacy United Transformers boxes, reaching up here, grabbing a Tigerhawks box, the Transformers franchise has finally reached its 40th year. So here's hoping that Legacy United tops Legacy Evolution, that we get even more outstanding Transformers figures in the Studio Series 86 line than we got with Commander Class Ultra Magnus. Apparently, there isn't going to be a HasLab Transformers figure released East in 2024, so for now, I cannot stress enough how important it is for you, while there is no other HasLab Transformers figure being released East this year, I cannot stress how important it is to add copies of Victory Saber and Death Source to your Transformers collections. So until next time, you guys, I thank you to all my subscribers and friends for your continued support. And remember, don't stop collecting if you can. It's a fun hobby collecting Transformers action figures. And until next time, you guys, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.